Hello, and welcome to Being Impactful. I'm your host, Tina Posey. With me today is Christine Dikongue, co-founder of Africa Hacks, a platform for young Africans to turn their ideas into full-fledged social enterprises and startups, currently reaching over 20,000 youth and women across 30 countries. Christine, what is Africa Hacks? Can you give us a little more information about the goals, purpose, and participants?
No problems. Hi, Tina. Thank you so much for having me in your podcast today. So, Africa Hacks is all about creating a startup. We're inviting youth to bring the ideas, and through our multiple initiatives and programs within our platform, they will be able to kickstart their entrepreneurship journey and bring in the idea to launch of their startups.
Fantastic. And what outcomes are you having with Africa Hacks? What are you trying to accomplish?
So we've been around. So maybe I will give a little bit of history about Africa Hacks.
Sure.
So it started as a hackathon. The first hackathon we had was in Nigeria in 2018. And from that hackathon in Nigeria, we saw how multiple ideas were coming out of African youth in Nigeria. And we saw that they were really able to transform our hackathon project into full-fledged platform and getting some traction and some user to use the platform. So 2 years in the run in 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, the actual founder of Niger Hacks decided that he wanted to expand and he wanted to reach not just Nigerians, but other Africans in the continent. So that's kind of how we created Africa Hacks. And Africa Hacks, the sole mission is really to be at the forefront of the digital economy and really using everything, that we can in online, whether it's, using the mobile phone or, a computer to connect African youth with available technology out there so that they are able to create a technology solution or sustainable solution or social enterprise solutions. And we connect them with corporates that had different solution and they want to leverage the solution so that can use it with the APIs and really build on top of the solutions. And sometimes we have, youth that are building ideas from scratch. So our purpose is to really look, 5 years from now and realize that, the impact we had on those youth, seeing that, out of the many users that we have on our platform, most of our youth are actually now running their own businesses and really using that to change their families and the families the lives of the communities around them.
That's outstanding. So, a little bit about disruption and a little bit about leveraging the combination of corporates and young tech and social entrepreneurs, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what we aim on doing. Finding a way, an innovative way to alter the way the technology are currently being used, and repurpose that use to communities such as African youth or youth of African descent. Leverage those technology and say, hey, these are also the technology that are out there. What can you do with this technology to answer problem or solution within your community? The idea is not really to, build the next Facebook. No, the idea is to use the technology that's available to you to answer a critical problem within your communities.
Fantastic. I love it about community, about engaging young African technology entrepreneurs. Can you talk about maybe a couple of social or tech entrepreneurs who have really kind of spoken to you in terms of bringing their ideas into reality?
So, we have a couple of them. So one of them that I just have on top of my head, they're called Bridge. They actually won our first Africa Pitch Day, and that was a day where we allocated some thousands of dollars to provide to one of the winner. And those funds were actually raised by us, co-founders. And the whole idea with that is that we are aiming for like the next time that we're running another pitch competition to really have investors to be there and to look at the startups that we're bringing forward. So that startup I'm referring to, the name is Bridge. And Bridge, what they do is it's a platform that's actually connecting informal job sector in Nigeria. So think about, a mechanician, think about a house cleaner, think about, a shoe shoemakers. So really those informal type of laborers that you will only find in Africa or in Nigeria for this purpose, not necessarily being linked to big organizations, that they're actually working on their own. So just an example of a shoe fixer, or, someone that, will fix your shoes, he will be working, outside, and, go doors and doors and say, hey, I'm fixing shoes and so on. So really having this platform where you have all those different sort of informal jobs, right, that you will find, whether it's in Nigeria, in Cameroon, and you have the user going to this platform and say, oh, instead of waiting for the next seller to come to my door front desk or me seeing him on the street or something like that, why don't I just go into this platform, join bridge that XYZ, and find them, book an appointment so that that person knows that I'm coming and I can actually pay for this initiative through the platform. So I really love that solution because it's actually answering a social challenges that a lot of different countries in Africa are facing, where they don't have a centralized approach to those type of business. People are just, that's kind of like the 9 to 5, and the 9 to 5 is really like something where, in North America will be like it's a side job, but for those informal laborers, it's really the 9 to 5. So we're really democratizing that sort of, 9 to 5 and bringing it into a platform so they exist there as digital entities.
That's phenomenal. I love it. So more about online and centralizing payments and making things more efficient.
Exactly.
And it's called Bridge,
Exactly.
BRIDGE. Okay.
Exactly.
Yep.
So Bridge. So that's kind of like one of the first, solution that I have on top of my head, because, every year we receive so many, fantastic ideas. It's actually getbridge.xyz, not joinbridge.xyz. So, if you want to have a look there, have a look, getbridge.xyz, and we kind of give you the ideas of what they're doing. And that's like, yeah, exactly to your point, bringing this online payment. And, that's kind of like the future, where things are going in Africa, online money, mobile payment. That's kind of how things are working in Africa right now.
Fantastic. And would that include blockchain or more mobile?
That's a very interesting question. So, blockchain, when we really think about blockchain, it's a solution that if we have the enabling environment, right, if approved by, all governing portion in Africa, it will be the currency that's going to, change and, revolutionize the way our currency are going, right? And
yes.
Africa Hacks, as a matter of fact, we started using this blockchain. It's called Chi Money, and it was actually built by our co-founder. So this is not an Africa Hacks initiative, but I just like how you went to the next step, which is blockchain. And, and our co-founder is actually, his name is the founder, Uchi Uchibeke, and is actually a blockchain software engineer. So he recently launched a platform where you'll be able to exchange blockchain. But the whole idea with that platform is like one of the problems or challenges that we find out, during our implementation of our platform Africa Hacks, and especially during the last digital innovation, so hackathons that we had in early December 2020, was that, a lot of our user needs data. They need access to internet. They need airtime, really. That's kind of what we say with data. They need airtime access. And we realized that, for any, a lot of, the youth, they would use their data, their airtime to go on Facebook and things like that. So for us, we're like, okay, how can we bring those youth into our platform? So the first thing that we start doing is that, we're going to allocate, so the whole social impact idea behind Africa Hacks is that, everything that we're doing, it has to have a social impact around it beyond the creation of company. So as we were organizing the hackathon, we decided on, providing internet access to all of our participants. So all of our participants had free internet access. They all receive at least 10 gigabytes of internet to be able to organize the hackathon. And the people that haven't received or something like that, they can always contact us, and we will provide them this access to them. And this is something that, and as we did that, we realized that, oh, wow, we need to be able to, to have a way to do it faster, so that, my co-founder created something called Chi Money. And the whole idea with Chi Money is to be that platform that you can convert a certain amount of money in airtime, but also in the blockchain, the cryptocurrency that they are building inside the platform. And so this is something that, in 2021, we really want to start experimenting using as well, to see, what would be the change, what change can we make within our current business models.
Nice. Yeah, that is super interesting. So it combines airtime and the cryptocurrency.
Exactly, airtime cryptocurrency. And we also want to use it as a way to, those big events that are currently happening. They organize events, online events in Africa, but or in, when I say Africa, of course, there's many different countries, but the focus is really like, throughout Africa, there's the same different challenges that's happening. There's the access to internet being expensive. So we also want to provide this platform, through Africa Hacks as a services, and provide this platform to other people, that would be interested in providing, I'm having an event there, but you know what? I want to provide internet to, some youth there that want to join. So again, we bring this technology disruption. How can we find innovative ways to do things, but at the same time to disrupt the way the technology is being used?
Nice. That's fantastic. And I know we've talked about Africa Hacks and we haven't really gotten into, you mentioned the hackathons in relation to the examples you provided, but the hackathons themselves, can you just kind of go into that a little more for us?
Yes, definitely. So maybe I will give more like a little overview of our ecosystem. So basically, Africa Hacks, it's a platform, and within that platform, we build products that will enable the creation of startup at scale. So I just give you an example on how one of my co-founder built a product outside of Africa Hacks that's actually answering some challenges that we face within Africa Hacks. So beyond that product, beyond that product, what we do is that we have different initiatives. So the first way is innovation. So we just talk about hackathon. So we see it as really innovation, really using the hackathon cultures to inspire creativity, to inspire innovation, to inspire creation in the mindset of African youth participant within our platform. So it's really like the first time you will meet Africa Hacks will be at the hackathon. The first time you will hear about Africa Hacks will be at the hackathon, because it's really it's our token, to wonder of our platform. Let's just put it that way. And basically, we invite users to join a virtual innovation challenge so that they can validate their idea and measure its potential. So as they come through the hackathon, so you have the hackathon. This year we did a hackathon of 1 week long, which is the longest we've ever done. And and honestly, I think next time it will be like less than 7 days. But the whole idea is that every single day you have a different learning. So we had the great chance to work this year with IBM, with Twilio, with Amazon Web Services, with MongoDB, with Vonage, for example, Vonage, which was one of the biggest partner this year. Vonage, which is a platform that provides digital communication APIs for startups. And basically, they joined our innovation at Hackathon, and they brought the APIs, and they challenges the youth to create, their ideas using the API. So at the end of this hackathon, we had a lot of startups, a lot of participants that created ideas built on top of Vonage APIs. So as when it starts, we put the youth into groups. Most of the time, sometimes they will come with their friends, and sometimes when they don't have the friends, in our platform, we have a matching tool. So it will match, we will match people together based on their interests, based on what they're looking for. And then they start hacking, they start creating based on, all of our partners, based on all of our partner technology that are providing to us at the free cost, because most of the time to use some of those technology, it has to be paid. So that's kind of like how we do it.
Yes.
And then after that, once that hackathon is completed and, We have winning teams, and after that we have different programs, and those programs are virtual incubator. So you know how usually, incubator will be, okay, you're incubating here, you have your physical space, you're here, that's, you're going to the office. But we all know that, during the pandemic, we obviously saw a shift in how business are being run. And for us at Africa Hacks, we took it as an opportunity and realized that, do we really need an office? You know what I mean? Like, do you really actually need an office? I feel like you will need an office if you have something physical that needs your immediate attention, that you need to go there every single day, regardless of if user or customer are going to the office. But if you don't have something tangible, then you don't really need an office when you think about it. So for us, we came to this virtual incubator where we help those projects from the hackathon. We bring them into our what we call our startup Sandbox program. And really what it is a virtual incubator. And you know what we provide in the virtual incubator? A space, a digital space, a website. So they're able to host a website, having WWXYZ is one of our partners, for example. So all of the project will have, that XYZ, instead of .com. And also with our partnership with Amazon Web Services, right? So a lot of those startups will have access to cloud, so they don't need to pay, 500 USD per year to host their website, right? And when you think about it in the life of a young Cameroonian woman that's starting her online e-shop or e-commerce, this is a lot of fixed costs that's already absorbed and that's already paid for upfront for you, so that you can focus on other aspects of your business and scale it and really use this opportunity of setting those fixed costs that you will have for the next 3 years through our ecosystem. So that's kind of how for us we help them bootstrap the startups. And from there, we now have help them launch and getting access to all of our corporate partnership that we have. And this is really through the partnership that we sign with those corporations. And that's kind of how we help them launch. And then the last point is really help them scale. And this is kind of where we are at Africa Hacks, where we're now looking to investor and see, okay, how can we, because we realize that, without investor, or not necessarily like VC scale or things like that, but even just investor that are just interested in looking into our ecosystem, right, and see how they can help. We're not necessarily talking about VC funding or angel investor, but just investor into Africa Hacks to really look into, okay, this is a business model, and, start really discussing whether it's investing in capital or it's investing in kind resources.
I love that. And the idea of the shared services and all that support you're offering the young social and tech entrepreneurs. The fact that
Exactly.
they, to have to do that on your own is such an overwhelming task. You lose sight
Mhm.
of the idea itself, right?
Exactly.
Yep, that's very powerful. And in terms of new entrees, new people onto the market, new tech and social entrepreneurs, how can they get involved in the future? Do you have a schedule of upcoming hackathons, or
Very good
how can they get
question.
involved?
Very good question. So, as I said, we have different sort of involvement. So we did our hackathon last year, and right now we are in the space where we're actually building capacity, right? So if you want to get involved, I know you, Tina. For anyone listening, but I know you, Tina, you're quite skilled in product development, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so the next part is actual product development. So we help them come up with ideas. The next part would be actually building capacity, building around this idea. Because you know what? Like yourself, like myself, to get going, you need to be inspired. So it's important for us to even bring you as a guest, as a speaker, to discuss different points. And this is like, for you to kind of have a taste. We don't like say, hey, that it's absolutely be on the platform, but we always find ways to have in formal meeting with you like yourself joining to the next program. So the next program that we have that's actually starting in January is the Startup Sandbox program, and that's a capacity building, a bit of design, a bit of product development, and then just really helping them taking the idea from the hackathon and now putting it the full-fledged and ready to go to market like type of product, and so that they can have the most viable product ready to go to market, the beta version, so that so they can actually, start getting traction and, start having some customer feedbacks and, start having something to a little bit more meat, right, before we bring them to investors and things like that. So for us, I think it would be very interesting if you come with us into the next part, which is actual product development. And then actually, we also have another hackathon. You spoke about blockchain, and there's this new technology called web monetization. So let me explain that a little bit. So
yes,
right now how we have Google ads, we have all those different ads that are out there, and those ads are actually using, you have to pay, you have to do some bid, you have to pay in order for your ads to be in someone's videos and things like that, right? So this is all by Google. So now Mozilla Firefox, they're working with Coil, with this thing called web monetization. So the whole idea is to have, let's say Tina have a tinapose.com website and I have ChristineDikongue.com website. Both of our websites are web monetized. So that web monetization token are hosted with Coil. So whenever Christine comes and visits Tina website and I'm just scrolling down to it, Tina is getting some money out of this interaction directly into her Coil wallets. So this is a very interesting technology that's, it's very recent, and during the pandemic, it has been really, Call has really, want to push it to the software developers and, the overall content creation community. You will see accounts like Twitch, the gaming product, like, people that are gaming, they're actually earning from it because people are watching the content, and that's actually making you being, the owner of everything that's coming to you, so you can actually know the traction, the amount of money that goes into your account. So Africa Hacks actually a recipient of a grant for the web, grants for the web. And this is kind of how that web monetization is hosted. So we're actually launching, because of that, we're really so interested into web monetization. So we're actually launching web monetization programs to actually share this technology. And it will be like a mini hackathon where we invite people to come and to really share this technology with Africa Hacks and, our intern, our own expert in blockchain technology, which is our co-founder, our founder, Uchi Chibeke. So those are the two things that's happening: the blockchain, the web monetization program, and the startup Sandbox program.
So will that be another kind of shared service you will offer to your participants, or will that be sort of a offshoot program?
Yes, so the startup sandbox is actually, that's when the shared services are,
Yes.
you're enabling it. So that's when you have access to it, like in a more long term, because during the hackathon, it's more like, okay, you have access to it and, so that you can build your ideas, but winning project from the hackathon, and also anyone that's want to apply, right, will have the chance to participate into the startup sandbox. And that's kind of where you unlock all of those shared services that you're referring to. The blockchain, the web monetization one, it's more like an informative programs that we're doing, because we realize how important it is, for this new technology, and we really want to get it in front of African youth. And also, we're also in talks with, Coral, to see if they can further, to bring more shared services. But, in the meantime, we will be doing it through the grant for the web, and really making sure that we can do some, a form of contest and something like that, right? So that, as the recipient of the grant, we can continue, be that that voice for the web monetization in Africa. So that's kind of like what we're doing. Does it answer your question?
Yes, it does. It does. Okay. I was trying to see how it all fit together, because you've got so many intensely new technologies coming together. So trying to piece it all together for myself here.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so I guess my last question for you would be, what's next? What's next for you?
Yes, at Africa Hacks, the first year we really focused on the Anglophone market and Anglophone Africa. So what's next for us is to really the internalization of the product, and starting with French. My first language is French. I'm originally from Cameroon and I live in Canada. So I think what's next for us is to really unlock Francophone potential within the platform and bring in more and start having more Francophone focused events. We had the amazing opportunity at our last hackathon to host the High Commissioner of Canada to Cameroon and Ambassador of Canada in Gabon, Chad, Central African Republic. And we spoke about how can we build an innovation bridge between Canada and Africa. So if you ask me what's next for us is to be that bridge or to participate into that bridge between Africa and North America, not just Canada. So I think for us that's next, and for that, we need to start, in Canada bilingual. So the next step is for us to start, unlocking this Francophone potential. And after that, after that, service back into Africa, maybe looking into other languages, Portuguese, Spanish, and things like that. So for us, it's to serve more, to be more inclusive of languages within our platform and within our programs as well.
That's so motivational. I'm so happy you are doing this. I think all these tech and social entrepreneurs, African youth, it's so important. It's really a great way to manage the social impact. So I for one, am very inspired by you.
Oh, thank you so much, Tina. I'm very inspired by you as well.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, and thanks for being on with us.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for having me. And for the listener, thank you so much. If you want to get more information, africahacks.com. And I'm sure Tina will share some more information. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye now.
Bye.
Being Impactful focuses on bringing awareness to best practices and trends in successful social impact. Produced by Pivot. Pivot connects corporates with social impact entrepreneurs in order to make a bigger impact across the 17 UN SDGs. You can listen on whatever platform you get your podcast on. Catch up with our journey to bringing impact across all the 17 SDGs by following #Pivot Initiatives. Can't wait to share our insights.